Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to an airbrush review. I've got the finespray AB180S. Now this is a sort of budget beginner's airbrush, so I'm going to take you through a demo with this brush, show you what you get in the box and we'll see what it's like. Now there was some comments on the channel because I mentioned this yesterday about I'm doing a review today and people go, oh, Chinese knockoffs, they're no good. Now I've not had a go with this brush yet, so that's going to be my first go, and I'm going to give you an honest opinion and you will see firsthand what this brush performs like on this piece of paper here. We're going to use golden high flow acrylics. I've got a black in here mixed. Probably need to thin it down slightly because it's quite grainy, my golden is, but I'm going to use that. Airline 20 psi coming in on the main line. So the brush itself turns up in a box like this, nothing fancy, just in a plastic box. When you open it up, inside the box you will get a spanner, so that's obviously to take the nozzles off at the front, because this brush comes with 3 nozzle sizes. You get a 0.2, 0.3 and a 0.5, so you're getting sort of an all-round brush with the setups of the needle and nozzles in as well. You also get inside the box, which is quite nice I think, you get a quick connect. It's very rare you get quick connects when you buy an airbrush. You have to buy these separate, but not a bad quick connect. They're like the mass-produced ones you get on Amazon, and I've got them and they've been absolutely fine, so you're not going to worry about the style of quick connect that it is. It will work absolutely fine. The brush itself, when you get it out of the box, because a lot of people go, oh, Chinese knockoffs. If you look at that brush, it near enough looks identical to a Creos PS771. Sort of exactly the same. Same sort of front end, prong cap. The actual cup on the top fits really well. The inside the colour cup is machined really nice and clean. It's just very well done. It's a weighty brush. It's not like, I've got another finespray one here. Now there's nothing wrong with this one at all either. This is on a 0.2 and this has been absolutely fine. So that's another one in the same make. The weight of this feels nice and weighty in the hand. You've got a MAC valve to the front, so we're going to give that a little place, see what that works like. On the back you get a cutaway in the handle, so you can pull the chuck for quick cleaning out the back, and you've got an adjuster on the back. Now these dial your triggering. The only thing I would say of the feel of this to a 771 that it doesn't feel like a 771 is the trigger. On the 771s the triggers sit straighter like that as you press down. This one slopes slightly to the front. But other than that, it just feels like the 771 in your hand, it really does. Same sort of weight as well. So we'll put the connector on the bottom. You get this in the box. So you get that little adapter there. Screw that to the bottom of the brush. So that's on. And I've got a quick connector end already on my airline. So we're running 20 psi on the main line. We'll just try the MAC valve. Now the MAC valve's working well, it's working nice. So the MAC valve's working on it. We'll take the crown cap off for this demo. You've got a little bit of needle exposure out on the front, probably about 2.5, 3 mil out the front. We'll drop some of the golden in and we'll see what this brush is like. And this is going to be an honest opinion on this brush, guys. I haven't got much golden left in here. Drop a little bit of water in there. Do a little back bubble. Pull it through. I'll move you in a little bit closer and we'll see what this brush can do. So 20 psi. Now, first impression on the trigger, it's absolutely on point, guys. I mean, straight away I can hit super fine details with that. I mean, that trigger is on point. Touching it straight away, not a problem. I am really impressed on how well this brush is. You can't fault that. I cannot fault it on response. Their tiny little dot can come down a bit on the pressure. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Minimal paint. Really nice atomisation out the front. You can see it's atomising it really well. Coverage gets the paint down. I'm going to try some other paint through it. Give this a little quick blast through. So first impressions, it works. It's a good brush. The only thing I'm not keen on is the trigger. As in, not that it's not on point and it's responsive, because it's very responsive. Just touching it and you'll get the tiny little dots down, you'll get minimum paint down, and we hit the details straight away. It's just the angle for me, it's just a little bit too aggressive on the slope, so I'm tending to sit to the back. It's just a little bit too angled down for my liking on that. If this was more like a flat top with this style of brush, it would be better if it was sort of here and flat. But other than that, we'll chuck some more paint in it. We'll go for a bit of this. I think this is very thin. Yeah. Yeah, it works absolutely fine, guys. It really does. As you can see, I am barely touching that trigger and you can get super fine with it. I'm really impressed on how well this is performing for a budget brush. We've got a discount code on this as well, where it's going to get you 20% off, so you'll be getting this brush for next to nothing, and I think for the price you can't go wrong. I would gladly paint with this on a portrait with no dramas. It's flowing nice with the paint. It doesn't seem like it's spitting, stopping or anything like that. The air flows really well on it. You can knock the air pressure right back with this. Absolutely fine. A really nice brush. Great atomisation on it, as you can see there. So, I know everyone says like the Chinese knockoffs and things like that, and that's what's put me off with these sort of brushes before. But I own a lot of brushes, I own a lot of quality brushes, so I know what the feel of a £400 airbrush is like to a £20 airbrush. Now this to me feels like a mid-range £150 airbrush in your hand. It really does. It is performing how some of these higher end airbrushes perform. There is nothing wrong with that brush at all. Like I say, the only thing I feel uncomfortable with is the trigger top for me, because it's too much of a slope at the front and I tend to sit to the back. The other brush that sits like this is the PS270, has that tight slope down, and I tend to sit to the back on that brush, and I'm sitting the same as I would if I paint with the PS270. It's not a draw, it's not an issue. I just sit further to the back on the trigger. But I think after time with this, because this is new, the springs will loosen up. I've softened the tension up in the trigger to make it as loose as possible, because it is very, very precise on the trigger. It's like you can get these tiny little dots, look, not a problem. It's on point, it really is. It's on point. I can't fault it, guys, and yes, I recommend it. For the price you're getting it for, I think it's the best cheap budget brush you will buy. It really is, because it works. I'll gladly do a portrait for you with this so you can see it performing, but there's no dramas, no issues with it at all. It's atomising the paint how you want it to. You can get your super fine details down with it. Not a problem. Little dagger strokes, and it's very rare I'm not painting miniature stuff anyway. This will get down perfectly enough for me, for the size stuff, for the size of the portraits and things that I'm working with. That is absolutely fine. I'm not one of these painters that paint on the side of a razor blade with an airbrush, because my eyes can't deal with that sort of stuff anymore. But for getting down 3-4 mil on a dagger stroke, it's more than good enough. There's not many brushes that can do that anyway, unless you're spending serious money. And this is an absolute bargain, because it works. So the finespray AB 180S, I can't knock it, guys. Build quality is nice. The Mac valve works absolutely perfect. You've got your dialing on the back, but I never use that. I always have that fully open, so I've got full adjustment to the trigger. You get your two other needle and nozzle setups in it. I'm going to leave this as a detail brush because I think it's awesome for a detail brush. It works and it's comfortable, and it'll start feeling better the more you use it. It'll just start to loosen up because the springs are really tight. But yeah, win-win, it works. Drop your comments, because I know you're going to be saying, oh no, it's a piece of crap. It's not, honest guys, it is a good brush for the money. I would gladly, as a beginner, if I didn't own them brushes that you see on the wall at the back of me, and I first picked this up, it wouldn't bother me one bit. I will paint with this, and I will paint you portraits and things with this on the channel, up and coming in the videos, and I'll paint it like I'm painting with a micron. It makes no difference to me. It's a good brush. So thanks for watching. Check out Everything Airbrush. They kindly sent it over, and I think thank you very much, guys, for sending it over, because I can't knock it. Have a look at the description on Everything Airbrush. I'll leave a link to that. You've got a discount code as well, guys, so you can't go wrong for the price if you're looking for a brush. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.